You can win cash and earn credits just by clicking the link below and signing up for kill races, solo, duo, last Spartan Standing. It's all on the link below the Z-League tournament platform. You can earn 500 credits just by signing up through the link below.
The players available in the HCS. And I love the fact that both here are now pairing up with that old Triggers Down duo. You got Tony-san teaming up with Hysteria, Parmea on Incognito with Neighbor. I think that's exactly what these two young guns need to take that next step that is a veteran IGL like Hysteria. So I'm going to be very curious to see how that plays into form here in this series.
I'd love to see that pickup as well. Hysteria coming over to this lineup. Onboard Tony Arctic played together last week under the name Incognito, but now with Hysteria, they're here as Team Forbidden Fruit as Hysteria comes over from Triggers Down, which was basically absorbed into multiple teams, and you're seeing that coming together right here. The number 2 seed coming out in today's tournament, just one spot under that big name of SSG. A lot here for Forbidden Fruit to prove for themselves.
Yeah, and off the start, both teams going 3 down. A little bit more pressure, though, as Hysteria pulls a flag out. Tony helping with that pressure with those 3 kills here to start the game early. And it's an early flag pull for Forbidden Fruit.
Not just any flagpole, though. They have some map control. You can see the defensive setup right now. It looks like Serial might be the only one other than Employee blocking the capture. They can get a little pinch here as Employee was up front. Serial rotate around behind, and then enough grenades in this tight corridor to drop the flag. Working on that reset to come through. And Employee, honestly, the last line of defense and the only line that they needed to get that return.
Yeah, I thought Employee was going to get baited into too much grenade damage there and not able to get the return. Instead, he was able to get the return with no shield. So one of those really heady plays that doesn't actually show up in the stat sheet as it relates to kill death ratio, but is a reason they're still tied here at 0-0.
Yeah, everybody make a mental note for Employee. He gets a couple of bonus points that aren't going to show up in the stats for that defensive stop. But here comes Tony rotating around, grenades flying. I think he had the sword, but not able to close out the distance to put it to use. Now we're on board with Llama. 5 kills already on the board, cleaning up another just very clean kill, being able to play the position. Meanwhile, Posey rotating the flag here on the side for digging deep.
Yeah, and just as it looks like Forbidden Fruit is going to get that flag in, we have a counter going down. Employee with the overshield flag past the 50-yard marker as well. This is looking to be a cap, an early one for digging deep as they do just that and get on the board 1-0.
Honestly, what a answer back, right? We saw that huge return coming through, the defensive stop from digging deep, and they turn it right back around into an offensive force. We saw this in the last match. We're actually going from Bazaar capture the flag and now Catalyst capture the flag. So maybe digging deep kind of found their footing, found how they want to play the CTF mode, and it's carrying them through into this new series.
And if you're Forbidden Fruit, you got to give up on this route, right? That's 2 times in a row they've taken the flag to the exact same point. It's almost like deja vu as another return goes down for digging deep.
Envor here with the push, cleans up a kill, has full health and shield, and again, the defensive setup from the team. It looks like Forbidden Fruit have one half of the map pretty well locked down. Looks like Posey, in the meantime, is back in the Forbidden Fruit base, so he's gonna have to win this 1v1, has the high ground, has Arctic down to 1-shot, dodging grenades, comes out with barely any life left. That's a huge win, coming out with that kill, and with it, Posey is stealing yet another flag for digging deep.
And that was wild because Envor had the presence of mind to stop that flag at the 50-yard mark because they had nobody dead for either side. Elects to play Team Slayer there. They played it right, but digging deep, executing better than Forbidden Fruit here early on in the CTF.
I'm not adding it up exactly, but I see with the numbers across the board a slight kill advantage here for digging deep. So if you're talking about pausing for Slayer, digging deep were the ones that came out on top, at least for right now. Forbidden Fruit, though, plenty of time for them to get their feet back under them. Now Llama in a 1v1 against Envor. Envor cleans up that kill, trying to escape with his life to be able to regenerate. Has a little bit of health here, gets the kill on Posey as well. Now pushing over to Employee. The overshield is up, and the killing spree for Envor. That's exactly the answer back we need to see from Forbidden Fruit.
Yeah, here we go. Tony 2-turn with that overshield. He's looking to get turnt with it as he elects to take on all opponents with speed and aggression. Maybe getting a little overzealous, but no, does a great job there playing his life, getting down to just low shields, but still taking down his opponent. Love the play there from Tony 2-turn, staying alive with that overshield. As a result, we got a flag out for Envor.
I mean, he played it so aggressive, not really a surprise coming from a player like Tony, but the fact that he got the kills and preserved his life is really the impressive thing to me. And then Envor rotating that flag halfway across the map, but doubles back now with the skewer. So now he is rotating behind the full lineup of Digging Deep, locking onto a target, has to switch weapons, doesn't give him enough time to line up the shot, is taken down.
Yeah, and Envor had the right idea there, using that skewer almost as a slug shotgun there, close proximity, not able to connect though. It's going to be up to Tony here to keep this flagpole alive. A few players pushing up for Digging Deep. This is going to be difficult for Tony, but he's doing a great job. You see it, waiting for his teammates to respond, not engaging in the action until he's got help. And as a result, we're seeing Arctic help out with the kill there, but Serial gets double kill, and even worse, he's got the sword in his back pocket, but he's going to go down. And it's now 3 down for Digging Deep.
You saw Llama with the sword there based off of Tony's reaction, trying to create enough space to break away from the sword, but Llama does come out with that double kill, rather, and the sword play makes a huge move. I've seen the sword more and more being a priority here on Catalyst. You think it's such a large map, it's so widespread. How do you use the sword? But there's so many tight little corners and corridors that the players that can play the sword patiently are gonna put it to work, and it looks like Arctic is gonna do just that, using the distraction from the teammate to rush in, close the distance, and get that sword slice.
Yeah, and you mentioned the tight corridors here on Catalyst. Because of that, this is also a very difficult map to secure that last final flag, right? It's very, like, you'll see a lot of last-minute goal line stands here on that map, on this map, as you see just that from Hysteria, and it's because of all the different angles and lanes teams have. So you can never count your chickens before they hatch here on Catalyst. You've got to make sure the flag is in to truly count it as a score, as we see Tony doing his best to potentially score a flag here and give his team the 2-1 lead. Looking at Serial, takes him down with a headshot, spots another opponent, has the help, but the smart play, did you see that prioritization from Tony? Realizes this isn't about getting kills, it's about scoring flags. I love that there from Tony 2Turn.
And his position, Tony's position there in the back of the Digging Deep base, they weren't even looking at him.
Yeah.
He was doing damage at the back of people's heads, in the back of their chest, and just lining up those shots, and they didn't turn to look at him. It gave him an opportunity to play a separate angle, allow his teammates to rotate the flag, and then he took on the last leg of that journey to get the capture. But Posey here looking for the answer back, sitting at 13-8 with 7 assists, going after the return, has the return about a quarter left, opts to play for the life and maybe just keep a watchful eye. I think that reset is still going to come through. Llama picks up a kill. Cozy keeping the pressure on, but running into a double team is going to be taken down and sent back to the respawn screen. Meanwhile, Serial picking up the aggression, kills trading back and forth.
Yeah, a little bait and switch coming in for Llama 2 God. I don't know if he had the help of Employee here, as he looks to instead use the sword to bait an opponent in. But yeah, again, I just love that play from Tony there. A guy that is known for getting kills, right, and slaying out. Has the one-shot opponent there, but elects to score the flag instead. That is exactly what you want to see if you're looking to get better and improve if you're watching at home.
I just left wanting to know how that play was going to end for Employee. He had the sword and the repulsor, and I don't know which of the two he was going to go for in that instance, but we'll never know, as he was taken down with the BR fire. Fight now for the overshield underway. I think one player picked it up and maybe dropped it. It could be still sitting there on the energy bridge.
It's barely on the edge.
But a couple players from Digging Deep here at the balcony position, laying down cover fire. I think Digging Deep are going to come out with this OS and the numbers advantage. Meanwhile, though, Arctic taking that opportunity, maybe the distraction, everyone's attention on the overshield, rotates through to the base, grabs the flag, and Employee does indeed come out with the OS after a little bit of slays back and forth.
Yeah, that was maybe an early flagpole there for Forbidden Fruit. Instead, it's going to force almost a counter for Digging Deep, and they've got the overshield. Employee in the opponent's base here. Let's see what he can do with it. He's got the sword as well. It'd be great. Wow, if he could have paired that with a grapple utility, he'd have the full kit, but instead he's got the sprint button to work with. As he approaches, Arctic takes him down with a slice. Looks to top tower. Has help from Posey, but he goes down as well. As Posey goes down as well, that's great defense there from Forbidden Fruit.
Forbidden Fruit really finding separate angles at the same target, just kind of triangulating Posey in the middle there of 3 lines of fire. So he could take 1 kill down, dodge a second, but the third player, I think it was Envor, actually coming through on the flank play to clean up that kill. And Envor is still playing this angle, this flank, picking off kill after kill, doubling back to regen the shield and try to open up opportunities for teammate like Hysteria. Both flags are out at the same time, and when it's capture the flag, you have to decide, are you playing offense or defense, or are you splitting up 2 and 2 because you need to handle both sides of the map.
Absolutely. Grabbing onto the flag here and taking away your ability to shoot back at an opponent is a mistake I see so often, even from top players here. So going to be very crucial here, playing both of these flags, keeping it alive and making sure that you stay alive as well. As 3 go down for Forbidden Fruit, Hysteria, last member alive. He's going to have to play this one really smart here to avoid a potential 2-2 tie in the late goings of this game.
I think I saw a brief glimpse of a double kill there from Llama to give Digging Deep the numbers on the map, but Hysteria, being last alive for Forbidden Fruit, managed to milk his life and keep that flag rotating. Now passing it off, we see Posey in a 1v1 against Envor, a melee, and then a clean BR headshot to finish off the kill. He's going for the return. This is a huge moment. If this return can come through, they can try to punch in that game time capture.
And just like that, Tony with the pull right after a return, and he's got the overshield to work with as well. Very interesting. Just as it looks like Digging Deep was about to get the return and a potential score of their own, this one's actually looking like a potential 3-1 lead for Forbidden Fruit. And with as much time as we have left here, just under 90 seconds, that could spell the end of this game.
Oh, I love that defensive grenade from Tony, creating space, allowing his shield to regenerate. So Forbidden Fruit having everything going in their favor right now, and they dunk that 3rd capture with only a minute to go. It is nearly impossible, not mathematically impossible, but nearly impossible for Digging Deep to force this into overtime. But Posey going with the aggressive, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and taking that top bridge because that's what they're forced to do. I like that decision. This is the only way they fight their way back in, and what a quick capture coming out from Digging Deep.
And this is a game, all you have to worry about here is not scoring within 30 seconds, but just forcing a sudden death. But unfortunately, Tony and Forbidden Fruit with another flag out. You know what I love here, Magic? I love how aggressive Forbidden Fruit is continuing to play. A lot of times late in the game, teams with the lead will kind of park the bus. They'll start to play a little bit more defensive, but Forbidden Fruit realizing that the best defense is sometimes a good offense as they continue to run this flag here.
Well, even grabbing the other team's flag as an offensive move does help you on defense because the other team can't get the capture while their flag is out. So it's kind of a multi-purpose grab. But with that, it's not just a defensive play. In fact, that final dunk, giving them 4 captures on the board, that's going to take game number 1. Forbidden Fruit really showing why they are that number 2 seed with some aggressive plays and some nice captures as well.
Yeah, and the game was already down and decided, right? But that 4th capture, you know what that is? That's the mind game. That's the mental. That's telling the other team that we have even more left in the tank, and we're going to deliver it to you here in games 2 and 3 and look for the 3-0 sweep. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's break down this last game. If we look at the Slays, Magic, Digging Deep looks like they had a deeper scoreboard as it relates to kills, assists. They were the better team fragging out wise, but this is not Slayer. This is CTF. And if I look at the scoreboard and see something like that, I'm actually getting really excited if I'm Forbidden Fruit because they're playing Halo the way Halo's supposed to be played. So if I am Digging Deep, the one positive you can take going into this Slayer is that you did outslay the other team in game 1, but you really need to increase your objective efficiency here if you're going to secure the upset throughout the duration of the series.
Now, if my quick math pays off, it's 76 slays on the side of Digging Deep and then 69 for Forbidden Fruit. So you're right about the slays being on the side of Digging Deep, but the objectives all in the hands of Forbidden Fruit coming out with that win. Envor leading the way in KDA for Forbidden Fruit. And then on the side of Digging Deep, no surprise, Posey still putting in the work.
Yeah, and when you're Posey and you bring that IGL to the team, there's almost an expectation that you can afford to lose a couple, pivs or maybe have a few more deaths on the stat sheet because you are spending so much more of that energy directing the team, leading the team. So to see Posey doing IGL, main slay, he's quite literally doing it all here, and his team's going to need every bit of it if they're going to upset Forbidden Fruit, which is just an absolutely stacked free agent roster.
Well, I tell you what, Posey came out with 25 kills alone in that last game, and if you come to a game like Slayer, that's half of the scoreboard. So is it enough if Posey can pop off? Will that lift all of Digging Deep to come back in this series and tie it up 1-1? Meanwhile, Forbidden Fruit, maybe the more well-rounded team lineup, all 4 able to pop off, and Envor coming out with the best KDA. Definitely a player to keep your eyes on in this game number 2.
Yeah, and if you go 3 down like you did for Digging Deep and you lost the initial engagement, you've focus then your attention towards this overshield. You start trying to build up those micro wins in order to get the game win, if you will, as it looks like that overshield is still down, maybe? Yeah, down at the top of overshield. Wow, a chaotic pull there for Envor as he secures not only the early lead, but the overshield as well.
And with that, you also see Arctic with the use of the sniper. So a little bit of other, both power-ups here on the side of Forbidden Fruit. Envor with a beautiful repulsor jump right up to the tower. But the grenades were there at the ready to take him down. An early 10-4 lead coming out from Forbidden Fruit with the help of those power-ups gaining control of the map. And they can really pace this game their way. Here comes the shot. I thought he was going to get the body shot, but no, lands a clean headshot with the sniper in the top of C tower, having the angle to line up that shot, times it just perfectly.
Yeah, and that opportunity was opened up by Tony Two Turn, filling the lane top mid, taking the attention from the opponents on digging deep at A, turning and looking towards Tony, not realizing that Arctic has the sniper at sniper tower. That's a fantastic play there from Forbidden Fruit.
I like it. Can we just call it sniper tower? Forget C tower. It's just like, this is the
S1,
sniper
S2,
tower.
S3. Let's just
Here.
I'm always okay with the old Halo call out. So let's
With that sniper, though, it looks like Arctic and the rest of Forbidden Fruit are going to try to post up for the next overshield. Pretty crucial in their early lead, and now they're coming through yet again. But Posey, no surprise, being the one to make a dent, a chip in the armor. He gets 2 down. He had Hysteria weak, but didn't have the help to clean up that kill. However, Llama sneaks through off of the respawn by Sniper Tower, grabs that OS.
Yeah, here you go. Here's your little mini win in the overshield. Now you got to turn it into more opportunity, more momentum for digging deep here as they're down 7 and are going to need a couple team wipes here to get back in this game. Overshield, a great tool to accomplish that task if you're looking to take out Hysteria as he goes down. Arctic spotted it back B, but Llama going to go down, and most importantly, Magic, he dropped the heat wave as well, so that now goes into the hands of Forbidden Fruit. If you're down in Slayers, it's all about the utilities. It's all about the sandbox. If you want to come back, there's a couple things. You want to slow it down, and then you want to make sure you're accumulating, almost like you would in a battle royale, the best kit, right? So very important here to see the heat wave in the hands of Digging Deep as a great, almost like a ninja goes down on Hysteria, and the heat wave now in the hands of Digging Deep and Employee once again, but they're not able to hold on to it for too long. If they want to come back in this one, they're going to have to start to sustain some of that power weapon usage and overshield as well.
If you're talking about the sandbox usage, I think Arctic has been a great example of that. You saw the drop wall right there previously, the sniper and the heat wave, really working with everything possible. Now Posey with the sniper in hand, shields are gone. He's expecting, anticipating that push. Llama right around the corner, but before he can go after them with maybe some close range sniper plays, he is taken down, and Posey just finding himself overwhelmed by this force coming out from Forbidden Fruit as they increase their lead to 11.
Yeah, you can see Hysteria doesn't have to take the initiative there to push and take on that piv. Elects instead to back up, understanding the situation, seeing the scoreboard, knowing that his team can play out for trades throughout the remainder of this match. And I wouldn't necessarily say, Magic, you want to start playing for trades when it's 17-12.
Sure.
But once you get past that 30 mark, and you're up like this, you can start playing for trades.
Ooh, unfortunately, Hysteria is not going to find any trade. He's going to find the whole lineup from Digging Deep collapsing in on him. And then Arctic, finding himself in a similar position, outnumbered, comes out with one nice melee kill. And, happy to get one kill on the board every point, adding to Forbidden Fruit as they creep up to that 50-point mark. And I see yet again, the power weapons in the hands of Forbidden Fruit. It's been very rare. We saw Posey with the sniper for a brief moment, but overall the majority has been in the favor of Forbidden Fruit. As you see Tony there with the heat wave at the ready, misses on the first shot, and Posey taking advantage, but Envor on the chase, ready for the collapse. Look at all 4 players from Digging Deep, rotating bottom tower and from the nest side, but the repulsor, is it going to be enough? It is enough for Envor to get one, now looking for that double.
Yeah, right now Digging Deep, a little bit too predictable as far as their location. The spacing not optimal or ideal as everyone back river and seemingly everyone going down as a result of the poor positioning. Hysteria and friends taking full advantage of the numbers, full advantage of the map control. Posey doing his best though to show a little defense and fight back as he wants to make sure his team avoids a steak dinner here.
Going the steak dinner is gonna be tough when Arctic is popping off. Double kill already on the board. Maybe a little bit aggressive going after that triple, but you gotta respect that once you're full speed ahead, it's hard to pump the brakes. Employee's gonna win out on that kill, but I think it's gonna be too little too late. 4 points between Forbidden Fruit going up 2-0 on the series. Arctic 16-4, the most kills on the board and the really huge performance here. And now Tony putting that sandbox to work with the use of the commando with that rapid fire, clearing out a path for the fresh overshield. But before that can come into play, that's it. The steak-tacular, the steak dinner, and 2-0 on the series for Forbidden Fruit.
Yeah, and that one's going to be a massive, massive confidence booster for Forbidden Fruit, because the only takeaway or negative from that game one was that they got outslayed, right? But in game two, the Team Slayer, they showed it was just a fluke as they go into game three with all the momentum and all of the good vibes and positivity in the Discord, the comms, right? Which is equally as important. Especially when you look to secure this game three. And for teams like this, for Forbidden Fruit, you don't want to give Digging Deep any sunshine, any hope of light peeking through the crack, right? And as a part of that, you're gonna want to make sure you win game three here and just shut it down.
And they did shut down that play. I know you said that the slays were maybe something to worry about, but I honestly feel like it is just Forbidden Fruit prioritizing the game mode that they're in, right? You don't have to win in slays and objective. We do prioritize slays because they can help with the objective. But the most important thing is that Forbidden Fruit is playing the game mode that they're on. And so that showed up in game number 2 with a very dominant win. A lot of it had to do with the sandbox. We keep coming back to that, the overall map controls, but you also saw them making plays where they just straight up win their 1v1s.
Yeah, and I think a microcosm of that, a perfect example, if we go back to game one, was when Tony had a potential triple kill in his sights. All of the players for Digging Deep, seemingly no shields, but Tony, no shield as well, turns away from the gunfight, grabs flag, and scores it instead. So I think you're exactly right, Magic. Forbidden Fruit doing a great job of prioritizing the game mode, the map, and what they need to do to win in each and every one of these games so far. That's why they got the 2-0 lead.
But it's not over yet. Still a little window of opportunity here for Digging Deep. We saw them play absolutely huge in the last series, but have they met their match? Forbidden Fruit have their eyes on that 125,000 coming up next week. And if they can win this game, they've secured their spot in the pool play. And we know that's what they're looking to do right here. It looks like all holds barred. They're playing full speed ahead. I don't see them stopping anytime soon. I like this aggressive pace from Forbidden Fruit.
Yeah, not only the pace, but the ability to regain and bounce back. If you notice, all four going down off the rip for Forbidden Fruit, but Digging Deep unable to turn that into points for their team. Instead, it's going to be the early score going down to Forbidden Fruit, despite the additional or the advantage in slays here in the early going. So a repeat, if you will, almost deja vu from what we've been talking about here in games 1 and 2 in game 3.
Board with the shock rifle in hand and a couple of repulsors as well to work with. Set sights on Posey, but Posey with the plasma grenade. It's almost a tongue twister to try to say that, but connects on the kill. I don't know if he wants to go over there to scoop up the shock rifle. Instead, he's gonna get the Hail Mary with a beautiful grenade and then dealing out damage. I have to say, Posey's consistency throughout last series and this one has been impressive. Every time we watch from his perspective, he's putting in the work, and even in this case, doubling back to play his life, ready for the next target. Might get a little trap here on Tony, who's over at Whirlpool. Instead, finds Arctic at the Mangler spawn. Disruptor fire goes out and cleans it up with the melee.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Digging Deep going 4 down there. Yeah, and love the use of the Disruptor. I think there's so much of the sandbox that's underutilized here in year 1 of Halo Infinite. So nice to see a little bit of Disruptor usage here on the stream, but it's not going to result in much, as Forbidden Fruit has control of the tower and the ball. But don't look now, Employee making the flank towards Long Haul, and they do have a little bit of a lead to speak of. So Digging Deep doing a great job here, and I guess quite literally Digging Deep, their tournament's lives, at least in the winner side, are on the line.
Tournament lives are on the line as far as working into that pool play at the very least. This is it. Digging Deep forced to find their way into a series reset, trying to flip this back around with 3 wins in a row is what they need. Forbidden Fruit, however, are sneaking away with the Oddball. Hysteria lines up a shot, the perfect shot, nearly a double as Posey ducks around that corner just in time. But I love this high ground positioning from Hysteria, using the shock rifle. A player is coming up right behind him, though. He finds out a little bit too late and is taken down. Meanwhile, Forbidden Fruit almost doubling up the score with the Oddball control at the back of C.
Yeah, but I love the rotation there from Envor. He's going to eventually go down there, but great recognition. As soon as Hysteria lost glass control, Envor started rotating that ball towards C, and he gets the play ball as a result here. So again, maybe not winning in the slaying category for Forbidden Fruit, but they're playing Halo exactly how it's supposed to be played.
Playing Halo at the most foundational level is what it comes down to. A little bit of an early lead for Forbidden Fruit, but no room for breathing. If they were gonna seal their ticket to the Super Championship, they can't let off the pedal now. They get control of the Oddball, Onboard being the primary objective holder here. Shots coming out across the map as you see Tony playing the defensive side there at B stairs, but Employee with a perfectly placed grenade breaks through that first line of defense. I like this push here. Llama and Employee working together for the team fire, checking their corners, lock sight on the Oddball carrier and the defender. Wasn't enough though. Doing the distraction for Posey to approach from the opposite side with the energy sword in hand. And Camo is also spawning, so Posey dropping down. There's just so much happening on every side, but Hysteria and Arctic take him down, so energy sword and active camo up for grabs.
Yeah, massive battle there, especially so because the sword is in possession of Forbidden Fruit. Quite a deadly combination here, as it looks like Hysteria is going to try to earn himself that. But no, Employee takes him down with the melee. Does he spot the sword down? He's looking for it. He finds it. Employee looking to be a sneaky beaver here and bring his team back in this game.
Don't know if it's too little too late. All that emphasis on the power-ups cost Digging Deep a lot of time on the Oddball, so they really need to slay out right here to earn a good chunk of time. Employee is trying to do that with the use of the camo and the sword, but he's spotting. Arctic comes out with a double kill, holding this line of defense on the back of the elevator, and here comes Employee. Patience paying off as he closes the distance, lands the last round of ammo, as if you would call it, in the sword. But is it enough for them to win back the Oddball? No, Tony still gets his hands on the Oddball after all the work Employee just put in.
Unbelievable. And did you notice the positioning of Forbidden Fruit, recognizing that the sword and camo was in the hands of Employee? They played all the way back. Nobody was kind of sort of baiting that door at top A or baiting the stairs at A. Great positioning and an understanding of the situation there from Forbidden Fruit, as Posey doing his best to take out his opponent in long haul. Hysteria, though, gonna get the better of him as he sneaks away to Sneaky. Holds a couple extra frag grenades in his utility belt, as well as that camo has 20 seconds left. A little too early to set up for. And just like that, a setup for Digging Deep with that Oddball. 3 seconds to go, though, for Forbidden Fruit. So we're going to have to see nearly perfect Oddball here if Digging Deep wants to come back in this game.
Hysteria lays down some fire but misses on the melee, but the numbers are on the side of Digging Deep. They hold on to that line of defense. You talked about only 3 seconds, but the defense holds. I think they're going to rotate over here to elevator side as Forbidden Fruit spawns back on C, long haul, maybe even top of glass, but they're noticing that rotation. Serial keeps the Oddball in hand, rotating all the way through. I thought they were stopping at elevator. No, they're all the way back at control, and also with knowing that they can only give up not even 3 seconds, wanting to rotate where a play ball is possible, but stop just short. Tony sweeps in, gets the kill, gets the Oddball, and steals back the round.
Tony 2-turn once again. Tony 2 objective, seemingly his name should be changed to today, because he's playing incredibly heady Halo, really prioritizing the objective, which is an evolution in Tony's game that I think we all should be excited to see, because we're getting to see a lot of that from amateurs, from semi-pros, and other professionals here. Everybody getting better in these tournaments, and that's really all you could ask for.
Yeah, looking for those players that are well-rounded, that can slay out when needed, but also prioritize the objective. And that's what you saw from Tony as he took down the ball carrier, grabbed the Oddball, knowing they only needed those final 3 seconds to seal the deal on round number 1. Looks like Posey has the active camo, but the focus fire comes out from Forbidden Fruit. Employee in a great position here, and off-screen Llama with the remote detonation as you see that metal just coming across. But Hysteria holding on to some good position. Nobody really rushing for the oddball just yet as they want to lock down the map first.
Yeah, always satisfying hearing Jeff Steitzer's voice, but even more satisfying getting control of that oddball here as it looks like Forbidden Fruit will take the early points in round 2 as well. Tony looking to make a flank potential here. He's got a pinch potential actually. As Arctic and Tony doing a great job. Tony not necessarily needed there on that, but just the positioning alone is what you love to see. The spacing really tight. And I thought maybe that repulsor was going to make them pay for digging deep. You saw both players hand in hand walking together. I saw the repulsor for Tony. Surprised we didn't see a return to sender right there.
Definitely looked like everything was adding up for return to sender with the repulsor and the grenades in action, but you know, difficult timing and difficult positioning for that to connect. The high ground pays off for digging deep, and the team fire comes through, but 3 go down. Llama's last alive, and Envor swoops in, cleans up that final kill, and now putting the pressure onto Posey. Envor is on a roll with kill after kill on the board when it's needed, and Tony once again being that objective player. They kind of traded roles after round number 1.
Yeah, and I love the rotation there from Tony. So a little bit in, well, let's call it no man's land there at long haul. You've got the glass control and the gold control is, wow, Serial gets the double kill. But Forbidden Fruit electing to take that to C. And I like that setup because it gives you an easy opportunity to play the ball, but they don't execute on it as Llama looks to sneak away with it. But no, Arctic stops any hope of that in its tracks as he's got the camo. Needs to stay alive with it though. Doesn't want to play that oddball. Almost gets a little too close to the oddball there. I think as a result, he gets spotted and goes down to the grenade. So an opportunity here for digging deep with 2 down.
Digging Deep is not too far behind on overall kills. They're still fighting for this oddball, and there's plenty of time left, but the reset might come through on the oddball if neither team gets their hands on it. If it's left inactive for too long, they'll go back to the spawn, but it looks like Serial does get a touch, resetting the timer there. Arctic at the back of C, throwing grenades left, right, and center, dropping down to pop the reload and try to regenerate the shield. But Hysteria now on the side of Forbidden Fruit, coming out with oddball as Envor lays down some cover fire.
Yeah, huge pickup there. Gets the repulsor to work with as well. A player like Envor already dangerous enough with the BR, but with the repulsor, he's even more deadly as we see Employee mind the gap and fall into the drink. Not a way you want to go down. Just a little bit extra salt in the wounds, if you will, right, Magic?
Yeah, anytime you get tossed off the side of the map, it does feel a little bit more personal. So how you can control the emotions to make the next best play is kind of the test of, mental fortitude a little bit. So Arctic there getting some good damage out, getting some kills. 2 players on the side of Forbidden Fruit, just 1 kill away from hitting that 20 kill mark. Employee staying alive, grabs the oddball. They're down a good 34 seconds right here, so a solid hold would bring Digging Deep back into this. But if they lose the oddball here, it's going to start to get desperate.
Yeah, and again, let's look at the stats. They don't matter. Again, Digging Deep seemingly keeping pace with Forbidden Fruit, slay for slay, but it doesn't matter. Even in a team slayer, you could argue sometimes dying is more important than, dying as long as you get the net result, the net positive result for your team. It's okay, right? So we're just seeing better heady Halo. We're seeing better objective Halo from Forbidden Fruit, and despite the fact that Digging Deep is able to hang with them in the slaying department, there's a bit of disparity in objectives, but just like that, Digging Deep looking to come back here as they've got a hold of their own at gold. Envor pushing up, looking to break through that. He's going to have a 1v1 potentially. No, he's got a pinch. I love the pinch. I love the bait and switch. I love the timing here from Envor and friends, as that is going to result in 2 going down for Digging Deep and a potential for more ball time if you're Forbidden Fruit.
That was a huge hold there from Digging Deep as they tightened up that score line, but with the oddball on the ground right here, this could be the deciding factor for this round number 2. Arctic past that 20 kill mark, sitting at a solid 21. Every player on Forbidden Fruit in double digits for assists. I just want to point that out. Actually huge coming out from their team. so even across the board in the kills and assists and even deaths department, really playing even with one another. They get the hold of the Oddball with Hysteria this time, grabbing onto the Oddball, adding to his objective time, and Arctic with the shock rifle, giving some cover, doesn't connect on the first shot, going in for a closer range. They just kind of drive by past each other, missing on the melee, and Hysteria unfortunately is taken down. This is the push that Digging Deep need.
Yeah, an opportunity here, down just 30 seconds, which is really, let's call it one good hold. Really, it might be more than one. We'll call it two, but really not much needed here to come back in this game. I think Digging Deep has every opportunity and everything they need on the roster to potentially give Forbidden Fruit a run for their money, as Employee pinching behind Tony two-turn, but Tony with a great recognition melees his opponent, takes him down. But Posey sneaks away with that Oddball and a chance to potentially tie it here.
Tying up the game here in this round would be huge, but even more so, Digging Deep need to steal back this whole round. In fact, this game, their backs are up against the wall. Llama with a huge heads-up play. You talked about the mental aspect, the decision-making, the timing there to grab the active camo, using that last grapple to secure the camo. Now going after Tony. Tony's been a threat throughout this game, and Llama just sends him back to the respawn screen. Posey now with the Oddball. They're just 1 second down. Onward making the push. This 1v1 so crucial. Both players weak, but they both disengage from the fight, hoping that teammates can come through to finish off the kill. But Posey with the high ground peeks out the window, cleans up that kill, cleans up the Oddball, and now we have a 3-second lead for Digging Deep as Posey is doing it all.
Yeah, Llama again with, and I want to point this out because stats don't matter in Halo. Plays like that, dude. Did you see that? The grapple on the camo had a player, Hysteria, directly in front of him, and that's a veteran, right? That's a guy it's very difficult to get anything by him. So for Llama there to grab that camo, I believe that's why we see the lead here, in fact, for Digging Deep. So, but the question, can they hold on to it? We're holding on to that Oddball. 2 going down for Digging Deep. It's starting to look bleak.
There's only a few seconds left for them to break this hold that Forbidden Fruit has, and on the side of Forbidden Fruit, every second is inching them closer to that pool play spot. Employee has to win this fight. He gets the takedown. Meanwhile, it looks like Serial wins a fight on the other side of Pipes. Llama last alive here on the side of Digging Deep. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Posey off of the respawn, coming in. 1 second left. He gets the fumble, but Arctic was there ready to clean up the Oddball. So after a great effort from Digging Deep to break that hold, those final seconds were won over by Forbidden Fruit. And with that, Makowski, they have sealed their spot in the Super Championship pool play.
Yeah, Posey quite literally playing all the way through to the whistle there, but it's not enough as Forbidden Fruit proving that this super stacked all-star roster of free agents is a force to be reckoned with. And we've seen this before in tournaments. We saw FaZe lose a game to a Complexions team last night. It's not easy winning Halo matches against players that have chemistry, that have rapport, that have time practicing with each other. So when you look at a team like this, there's only upside, right? There's only upside when you add a new player like Hysteria. These guys are on, as I call it, day 0, right? And day 0, those are the hardest days as a team because you don't have, again, that chemistry and rapport built up yet. So it'll be very exciting to see what Forbidden Fruit can do with a week of good scrims leading up to the Super.
Look for Forbidden Fruit next week at the Super Championship. Meanwhile, Digging Deep will drop into the lower bracket where they can still fight for those elimination bracket spots in the Super Championship. We're going to cut to a quick break, and let me just emphasize, if you're not subbed to the channel here at LVT, you are going to see some ads. So might as well drop the sub right here, right now, grab a few emotes, and give some financial support to the people working behind the scenes to bring this Halo action to you. We're going to get to a break. I'm MagickMoonShot. I'll be heading out when we come back. Tools will be hopping on the cast alongside Makowski. Don't go away.